This is Counterpoint, and I'm your host, Tanya Granick-Allen. The federal government recently tabled its budget for the year, and with it comes some expanded programs, some new yet unexpected spending, and also some new tax increases. The federal deficit is projected to be $40 billion this year, which is similar to last year's deficit, with an increase in spending of $37.10 billion compared to last year, putting the total budget at over $500 billion. With this new budget, our debt total will now be $1.2 trillion by the end of the year. Of course, cost of living is still top of mind for most Canadians, with housing being a priority issue. Has the federal government addressed these concerns with this budget? Is this budget helping or hindering affordability for Canadians in general? Well, joining me now to share their perspectives are Brock Stephenson, political commentator, and David Clement, North American Affairs Manager for the Consumer Choice Center. Thank you both for coming on today. I appreciate your time.
Glad to be here.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So let's hit off the housing issue. This seems to be a perennial issue as of late. It's top of mind for most Canadians. We'll start with you, David. $8.5 billion in new housing spending. Will this help?
Probably not. It's a little too late in the game. And I think that the Liberals have gotten to the point far too late. There's a growing debate over the best way to encourage municipalities to build more. And there are some good aspects in terms of their approach, like zoning reform. I think my major criticism right now would be that the Liberal government is more or less paying for promises from municipalities. And we've seen time and time again, communities that get money to build more, but then turn around and raise taxes on new construction, which of course discourages it. Right. And so there's a lot of debate over the federal government's figures. I think they're way too late to the game on this. And we're not going to hit any of the targets that they've set out in the budget.
Now, Brock, there are a few interesting policies. One is converting underused federal offices into home, building homes on Canada Post property, and rethinking national defense properties. It seems there's a lot of repurposing of federal property. So the first thing that hit me is, well, why are these pieces of land vacant to begin with? And are we, they're taxpayer owned, obviously. And will this help? Will this help increase the quantity of housing? Brock?
It will increase the quantity of housing, but clearly not enough. Creating housing out of Canada Post buildings that are no longer used because people don't use the postal system as much, and Canada Post is shifting their facilities to outer suburbia is one way. Putting people at national defense facilities isn't really the answer, as most of them are not in areas where people coming to Canada or people already here want to live. Having a shortage of national defense personnel is a separate problem, but I think we need to really focus on the fact that the federal government is struggling to come up with ideas. It's not their jurisdiction, so of course they love meddling in it, and they're way too late. Vancouver and Toronto have had affordability and housing shortage issues for several years, and I think that that's something that they're way too late on, and we don't have enough concrete to build what we need to build. We don't have enough capacity in our workforce to build it. And our cities are becoming more and more expensive and harder to find a place to live.
Agreed. One interesting component of the budget is is with respect to apartment building. So to your point, David, when you said that things need to be dealt with zoning and municipalities, well, Ottawa is pledging $15 billion top up to the apartment construction loan program, which they said will build 30,000 more apartments across Canada. Now, I know what you're going to say. I'm going to prejudge you. It's just a tiny dent. It doesn't really speak to the crux of the matter. But surely this will help.
Well, it could help. But I think what Ottawa has largely missed here is the demand. They focused heavily on the demand side of the equation, which may actually cancel out whatever gains we have on the supply side. And so some examples of that, we obviously have a national conversation about immigration. I'm personally very much in favor of immigration, an immigration maximalist. But you can't ignore the fact that people need somewhere to live. And the other aspect
I'm going
of
to
this
pause you
is
there,
in the-
actually, David. We got to cut to commercial, but we'll be right back.